Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I had to put on my reaching hat. Hear me out.
As they pass around the far side of the moon, the astronauts lose all contact with Earth. Lost recordings emerge, revealing an unsettling incident on the far side of the moon.
You hear that whistling sound?
Over the course of an hour, they mentioned it multiple times.
Boy, that sure is weird music. Sounds like, outer space-type music.
But the unsettling noises the Apollo 10 astronauts heard could not be caused by magnetic field.
Hi guys, and welcome to a crazy weird idea that I had. If we don't like it, we don't like it. If you like it, maybe I'll make more. I don't know. Before I actually did true crime, I did some cooking videos because I went to culinary school. I know it's so annoying, and I worked in restaurants, and no one cares. The point is, sometimes I still get comments of people who are watching my older cooking videos telling me please make cooking videos. I just didn't know how to incorporate it in my channel since I seem to have found a niche. And so I thought, you know what if I just cook while I talk to you guys about a crime or a conspiracy or both or whatever, okay? So let's get into it. If you want all the details, it'll be in a recipe in the description box. So the first thing we're gonna need is a spaghetti squash. This is what it looks like. Whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. just the pilot. So we're just first episode, we're just figuring it out. The first thing I need to do is, what I'm gonna talk about is this weird space music that was declassified in 2008, but actually this was recorded in the late 60s. In 2008 is when the actual audio was released in the Internet Archive, and it's really like fuzzy audio.
That music even sounds outer spacey, doesn't it? You hear that whistling sound? Yeah, it sounds like, outer space-type music. Boy, it got quiet, didn't it? Please don't believe it. Nobody.
So the interesting thing about this audio is where it happened. So it happened on the far side of the moon, also known as the dark side of the moon. During this time when they were on the dark side of the moon is when they heard this audio. Also, during this time, there's no communication other than amongst themselves. There's like no communication with I guess, like Houston, Houston, we have a problem. And they also talk about whether or not they should tell the people, about it, and that nobody would believe them.
Shall we tell them? I don't know. We ought to think about it.
And actually, till this very day, these astronauts have not spoken about it. We have these two. Basically, all you need to do, hi. Oh my God, it got brighter. All you're gonna need to do is season this. I season it with a little bit of oil, a lot of salt and pepper. You can also do, like, sometimes I do seasoning salt, garlic salt, and I found this thing called seasoned pepper, and I put that in there, and that's pretty nice. But I've done it so many times with just salt and pepper, and it comes out just fine. 400 degrees for about an hour, cut side down on a baking sheet. I want a low carb alternative, I can't even talk, alternative to spaghetti. And when I'm craving pasta and I'm trying to be good, whatever that means, this is what I do. I don't know if this is keto per se, because I think that, you have to be like super, I couldn't be keto. But if I'm trying to just get back on track, I go low carb. All right. Oh, and you can poke. I work for a Michelin star restaurant, which, if you know anything about restaurants, that's pretty like a big deal. And so my chef was so abusive. I'm not kidding. I'm talking like throwing frying pans, calling you names, like doing one of these if you don't say yes, chef. So that was fun for minimum wage, basically. He made Gordon Ramsay look like Mother Teresa. I'm gonna go ahead and bake this. She's coming because she can smell the meat. Hi, you smelling the meat? I can't touch you, I just washed my hand, Mama, I'm sorry. Okay, so, hi again. So, please, don't worry about her, she's get them, Mama. No, you can't, I can't touch you, okay. So now I'm going to dice the chicken, and this is partially frozen. I like to cut chicken when it's partially frozen. You can get cleaner cuts and it's not so slimy and slippery. So if you touch it, it's like kind of thawed out, but in the middle it's rock hard. Also, serrated knife is a good idea to really get in there. So I'm just going to dice it, and there are aliens on the collar. So at first it appeared as though the audio may have been replicated when another spacecraft clapped similar sound around Saturn.
The Cassini spacecraft picked up broadcasts like this from Saturn. These are caused by charged particles moving through Saturn's magnetic environment.
But then that was debunked because whatever was that caused the audio near Saturn had to do with Saturn's magnetic field, whereas the moon does not have a magnetic field.
The unsettling noises the Apollo 10 astronauts heard could not be caused by magnetic field. Also, I'm
totally talking out of my behind right now, in the sense of like I'm not a science major. I majored in political science. Very different. Also, just a quick note about dietary restrictions. Obviously, I'm using chicken. I eat everything, like literally everything. I love mushrooms. I don't have any, I use them up. But if you, for example, were pescatarian, use shrimp. If you were vegan, use just mushrooms, or like tofu or something like that. Did I even tell you guys what I'm making? I'm making low carb Alfredo. Also, if you don't eat dairy, there are non-dairy alternatives for Alfredo sauce. I was at the health food store the other day and I saw a dairy-free Alfredo. It actually seemed fun-free and joy-free. I had this idea already in my mind when I was at the store, and I thought, oh, okay, this is something I can suggest to them that I know exists. Oh my God, seasoned pepper. Can you see that? Focus, focus. How dare you? Gosh darn it, O'Malley. Okay, you're gonna have to trust me that it says seasoned pepper by Lawry's, whatever. On the live, I was blurry and my audio was going in and out, and I felt like every time I would talk, it would like interrupt the flow of what was going on because there was a lag. And then I was like, should I even talk? And I felt so stupid and useless there. I was just like, okay. But then I don't know. As soon as I'd hear a gap, I'd try to really speak so that even if there was a lag, you know, it wouldn't interrupt stuff. But they were both really nice. They'd be like, no, it's okay, no, continue, no, continue. And I just felt like I was throwing everything off. Annie deserved, like, I feel like it was about her and she had everything to say. I didn't feel like I wanted to add my opinion. Like, she is a family member. That's also why I didn't wear the hat, because I just felt it was disrespectful to wear it. I debated it. I mean, I know my intentions wouldn't be bad, but if I even had to question it and was thinking about it, I was like, better not do it. So that's why I didn't do it. But anyway, so I'm going to saute this chicken now. Yes. Okay, so very simply, this is just gonna be simple, not at all like my pimple. Let's drop in the chicken. All right, guys, so the chicken has browned nicely, and I'm just going to put the lid on it and let it stay as warm as it can while the squash finishes cooking. This is what I have left over. I've already used some of it. This is just like the Target brand. It's okay. It's okay. This is the best Alfredo. I don't know if you can get it where you live. I found it at the just like a regular grocery store. It's called Rouse Homemade. It's good. It is expensive. It's top shelf. Literally, it's on the top shelf, which usually means it's the most expensive thing. That's where the saying comes from. Did you know? From the top shelf of the store. That's what they tell me anyway. Why am I so So annoying. And then cheese as well. I think it's real. Is it real? I don't know if it's like Parmesan or Reggiano as Giada. Do you guys know Giada from the Food Network? Anyway, you can use this stuff in that green shaker, you know, that cheese. It's fine, I've used it. I'm not gonna act like I'm too good for it. But when I saw this, like grated, and it looks a bit more real. Use whatever you feel comfortable using. So that's my little spiel about the Alfredo and the cheese. And so let's talk about the theories. Turns out that Buzz Aldrin, I think it was Buzz Aldrin, they went on another trip 2 months later to like space. Why did I say it like that? To space, allegedly. No, they went to the moon. This is mentioned in the book Carrying the Fire. They were told that it was something to do with radio frequency and to look out for that. But the weird part about that, because when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, mystery solved. Then another astronaut came out and was like, no, these kind of radio frequencies, they're known, they're expected, and astronauts would have known about it when they went into space or even on the far side of the moon. They would have been familiar with this sound. Why were they so surprised by the audio? It makes you wonder. The fact that these astronauts were so shocked indicates that it's not a sound that they had heard before or were trained to be prepared for, which adds to the mystery. But also, you know, that's just like one person's opinion. There's a little bit more. The other thing that makes people kind of suspicious is why it was classified.
The transcripts lay undiscovered in the NASA archives until 2008.
NASA would withhold information from the public if they thought it was in the public's best interest.
The transcripts were declassified in 1973. It was buried in like over 200 pages of transcripts. So it didn't really get much attention. Once the audio was released in 2008, that's when it got attention. When I looked at the official NASA website, they mentioned that the reason why they only declassified it in 2008 had to do with technology, that they didn't, and I'm not sure if I understand this correctly, because if they had a recording of it from back then, I don't know why they could only release it in 2008. I didn't really understand that. Why couldn't it be released then if it was an issue with technology? Maybe I'm missing something, I'm not quite sure. So it turns out, according to another astronaut, he said that, you know, your mental stability was one of the major factors that they would look at when deciding if they're going to send you on a mission to space, because it takes nerves of steel. I read through the 264 pages transcript, and the amount of like holy shit and oh my god, like there was a lot of that. There were so many things of like closing the valve, I messed it up. And think about it, they're in space and they have to do all these major technical things, and things are bound to go wrong, right? Or just a little bit differently than what the plan states. And so you need to have the nerve to be able to roll with that and keep going and actually function correctly. So they knew that if they had spoken out and said, you know, we heard some weird stuff, it was potentially alien, that they would maybe look a little bit off, and it could prohibit them from being able to go on another mission, which when you're an astronaut, that's pretty much the dream. You want to go to space. That's why they never brought it up. It was just in the transcript, and they never said anything to the supervisors or anything about like, hey, we heard this weird sound, what is it? I think that makes sense, right? Because you don't want to look crazy. You talk about things like this, look crazy, which is kind of my brand, isn't it? One of the quotes is, that's just like something from outer space, really. Who's gonna believe it? And then the other astronaut says, nobody. Shall we tell them about it? And then both of them say that they ought to think about it some. And of course they ended up not doing it. Another interesting part, if you do decide to like read through the whole transcript, is you can notice that one astronaut is like really talking about the sounds, while the other one will sometimes not even acknowledge it and just respond about the tasks that need to be done. And you could tell that like he was trying to keep the other guy calm. And towards the end, one of them is like, I just want to get out of this spacesuit. They were almost spooked, and they described it as eerie. So creepy. I can't imagine, just everything is so foreign and different and weird, and like it's already like, oh, just imagine floating off into the abyss if one thing disconnects. Oh. So wait for it to cool off before you do this, but I'm kind of in a rush, so this is what I'm doing. Thusly, see how it looks like spaghetti? And the good thing about this is you can make a batch and then you can portion it out and then you can just like reheat it, you know, in meal prep it. Something quick and easy and healthy in a matter of minutes. That's how you say minutes in no language. You see how it's like spaghetti? Do we see this trickery? All right. Ooh. Ooh. Ah, okay. Same thing here. Scrape it from the edges and then do you see how it like spaghettifies? So crazy. I can't believe this exists in nature. Oh my God. So now let's go back to the stove and we're gonna assemble everything and eat it, and it's gonna be wonderful. Wonderful. Here we have my fanciest pot ever. I broke it out for you guys. I hope you appreciate that. And you just want to bring it to a simmer. I only have a little bit of this, but I don't want to waste it. So I'm gonna taint my favorite sauce with this other sauce, which is so annoying because this is so good. You see the color too? Okay, so there we go. Got that in there. Oh, I have a question. What's your favorite, look at this health code violation, my hair. What is your favorite Alfredo sauce? Or are you the type to make it from scratch and you're just better than everybody? Because that's an option too. Okay, so we're starting to have some simmeration occurring. Simmeration is the technical term. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the spaghetti squash, just to combine everything. And I'm gonna add in the chicken as well. I'm gonna add all this goodness at the bottom of this pot. Oh, I'm gonna add it in here. You bet your bottom dollar. Meat juices that are seasoned. I'm such a meat eater, please don't be mad at me if you're vegan. I tried to be vegan, I almost died. That's the most dramatic thing I've ever said. I didn't almost die, but I have. Okay, let me turn, oh, it's definitely, turn it down low. It's at this plate, you see all this liquid? One time when I was working in the kitchen, Chef Jared beat my ass. No, he didn't. I mean, he got so mad at me because I threw away a skillet with all this flavor right before like we had to make a gravy because I was an idiot. He was like, thanks, Noor. Thanks for basically getting rid of all the flavor. Thanks, Noor. And then the whole rest of the evening, I was the one who ruined the thing, and everybody who tasted it was like, oh, something's missing, and then they would give me a dirty look. I like literally had nightmares about it. There was the filthiest plate. I refused to throw it away. They're like, why is that plate still here? I was like, I'm not throwing it away. I don't care if there's mold in it. So here we have it, okay? Everything is already pretty much hot and heated through and combined. So I'm just gonna keep it here for just, see, it's still bubbling. So now we're going to plate it up. I'm so excited. Okay, let me grab a bowl. So here's my bowl. And I'm just gonna turn the heat off completely. And I'm gonna grab some of this pasta. I'm gonna try to make it look somewhat nice. I'll show you guys a little bit better at the end. And now for the cheese. The Parmesan, I love cheese. Parmesan cheese. Make sure you have clean hands. I'm gonna be very generous with this because I do love this. I'm gonna hit it with some fresh cracked, if possible. If you can't get fresh, that's fine. Like fresh cracked black pepper, and then just some parsley flakes. Now, when they're dried parsley, and you know you only have that, what I like to do is oops, that's a lot. I'll put like some in my hand, and I'll try to crush it a little bit just to release some of the, wake it back up is what they say. Bam. Bam! Like, remember? We did all the Creole cooking. God, what was it? Emerald Lagasse. So here is the finished product. Ooh. Okay, I actually drooled. That's embarrassing. Here we go. See, piping hot. Creamy, steamy. ooey and gooey. My dogs are crying. I'm sure they can smell this. Oh my God. I'm not even being dramatic. That is so good. Oh my God. It's the, first of all, that breath. Let me know if you make this. Tag me on Instagram, Noor Jasmine 7. Let me know if you like this idea. If this was a horrible concept, I'll never do it again. Anyway, bon appetit, enjoy. Remember, recipe link down below. All right, thanks guys, bye. Happy New Year.